Now that we've talked about several use cases for Drupal's most popular layout modules, let's look at how they overlap. So now that you've experienced it, you should be able to recognize these. So first of all, Display Suite overlaps with Panels in that they can both create layouts within the content area of the page. They use different interfaces for it. Display Suite uses the default field display settings in order to arrange the fields, whereas Panels uses its own interface. This means that even though the functionality is nearly identical in this respect, that the differences in that interface may determine which one you want to use ultimately. Because Display Suite integrates with existing configuration options, it may be a little bit more intuitive, whereas Panels centralizes a lot of different configuration pieces, so long-term it may be quicker to use that. So that's how Display Suite overlaps with Panels, at least in a couple of respects. Next, when we look at context versus Panels, we see that there's some similar functionality as well. In Panels, you can determine what blocks to display in various regions of the page, and in context, you can do the same thing. The difference is that with Panels, you're limited to the content area of the page, whereas context can let you step outside of that into other theme regions of the page. And Views overlaps with both Panels and Display Suite in the sense that we can display a single piece of related content in a different area of the page than the main content area. So in Panels, this is still limited to the content region, but we can create a sidebar for additional pieces of content if we want to pull certain fields over to it. In Views and Display Suite, we can also use the other theme regions, but all of them allow us to position a field or a particular set of fields outside of the traditional single block that a node display gives us. With Views, we had to use contextual filters and relationships in order to get the same effect, whereas that context was already built into Display Suite and Panels. However, if we wanted to display fields from multiple nodes, then Views will likely be our option because it provides us with more powerful options to display multiple pieces of content.